First at 4, we begin with new information about a terrible crash last night in Northeast Salem.
Police now say 3 teenagers were killed in this crash when a drunk driver ran a red light. The crash happened at the intersection of Salem Parkway and Cherry Avenue Northeast. KGW's Catherine Cook is live at Salem Police Headquarters now with more on what happened. Catherine?
Well, Chris, first of all, we cannot adequately express the grief that these victims' families are likely feeling right now, but we can share how police say this crash likely happened. They say it starts with this. None of the victims were doing anything wrong. They were just driving along when they were hit. This is who police say hit them. He is described as 25-year-old Juan Carlos Rodriguez Palacios. Police say his blood alcohol level was nearly 3 times the legal limit. Police responded to the crash around 11:30 last night. Investigators say Rodriguez Palacios was speeding in a Jeep Wrangler when he ran a red light at Cherry Avenue in Salem Parkway. He hit a Toyota Camry, killing all 3 teenagers inside. The victims are 19-year-old Trinity Watt, 19-year-old Madison Capobianco, both from Salem, and 18-year-old Michaela Tryon of Kaiser. Police say Rodriguez Palacios stayed at the scene and was treated at a local hospital, then released. At that point, he was arrested and faces multiple charges, including 3 counts of manslaughter in the first degree. He'll be in court tomorrow.